Okay, so the section had time to dry, and look at that. So it fully cured, and I got some good news with the color. Let me bring the ship over for a moment. So you can see the color that we painted the bulkhead, and that's ultimately going to be the color of the ship. Well, you can see it's going to be a perfect match, so that's a good thing. So you can see the bulkheads, and matter of fact, this is what we're going to do right now. See how, remember how we kind of highlighted it in white paint? And let me see, we do the same thing for both sides. So we're going to do the same thing now. We're going to highlight, we're going to bring everything out. We're going to make it look really cool. So we're going to like dry brush. So we're going to use the OCCRE white. We're going to put a little bit in. We're going to use a nice big fluffy brush. It's actually dusty from from all of the sanding that I've done. And we're going to get some paper towels. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of paint into our little tank or little compartment, little paint holder. So we're not going to use a lot, but we're probably going to have to do it multiple times where we're going to dip the brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the brush in, and I'm going to allow the brush to absorb as much of the paint as possible. And wipe off the edges. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to use the paper towel, and I'm going to take off the paint off of the outside of the brush. But what I want to do is I want to keep some of the paint on the inside. All right, let's see how this is going to look. And I'm going to do it on the inside first just to test it. So that'll be so far pretty good. Okay, so now with the brush, I just want to lightly go over some of the highlighting on the metal. And see how it just starts to kind of bring it out? Doesn't that look awesome? Now I'm going to put a little bit of the highlighting on the octopus and the door frame and the step as well, and on the door. And we can't forget about the little skeleton on the bottom. And lastly, I want to do just a bit on the wood. Not a lot, just to kind of but check that out. That look awesome. So now let's we'll do the railing, and what I want to do is I want to get the corner. See how we're going to go down and kind of highlight the corner of the railing? just put a little bit on the rest, just to highlight it. So now I want to put a little bit of highlight on the spindles and on the bottom. See how cool that looks? See, this is going to sound weird, you're not looking to hide the black, you're looking to highlight the black, if that makes any sense. Just like that. And we'll do this side. But see how it almost brings out the detail, where all of a sudden you go from just like a painted black piece to all of a sudden where it just looks so cool. See how we've done that? All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more now because we're gonna do the bottom section, and I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna let the brush absorb, and I'm gonna do the same thing now. We're gonna kind of brush the paper towel, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna dry or take the paint off the outside of the brush. So now let's do the highlighting on the windowsill. Maybe a little bit on the railing. All right, let's come around now, and we'll do more of the railing. I want to put some of the highlight on the edge. We'll put a little bit like that, and now we'll highlight the sides as well as the little spokes. So now I want to do a little bit there. Man, that looks so cool. And that's done. That's ready. Okay, now what we got to do is I'm going to clean up this mess, and then we're going to do the screens that are going to go in behind the windows. So let me clean all this stuff up, and I'll be right back. So it looks like we're going to have 2 of the sheets, plastic sheets, and what is that on top? Oh, it's a ruler. All right. So we've got 2 of the plastic sheets. Let's see, the larger one is going to go for the bottom. So it's going to be just about halfway. So let me go ahead and cut that right now. So it's going to be what, a little more than half? All right. Looks pretty cool. Let's put this aside before this gets all over everything. All right. So this is going to go on the bottom. This one's going to be cut. So the one that's going to go on top, this will go right on top, so we can do this one in half. So this one's on top. This one's going on the bottom. And we've got one. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to have enough. More than likely, we're going to have to, let's see, if we cut it in half, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if this might not be a good idea, but we're going to cut this in half. Actually, it works. So that's going to go on that side. And lastly, this one will go. All right, so that's going to work. So what we got to do now is we're going to cut screen to put on these 4 pieces. Like that. So we can cut this about here. Then we can cut a little bit across, right about there. And lastly, we have the 2 sides, so we can actually cut it in half. I'm going to put one there. Now, where is the other one? That's going to be on the top, it's going to be on the side. Right here it is. Okay. So what I like about the Q-tips is you don't have to use a lot of paint. It soaks them up, and then it won't slobber all over the place. And again, where you're going to use the OCCRE. So we're going to take one of the screens. And again, it's going to be where we have it on the window. And you can almost see right away just the black. There. Now we're going to do the same thing for all of them. See, I don't want to use the globby stuff. I just want to use a little bit of the liquid. And what we'll do is we'll put this on. All right, I'm wondering if it would have been easier to just go ahead and put the windows on and then glue the screens onto them afterwards, but all right, we got to wait for this to dry. Okay, so we got the screens done. These are going to go on. I think while we wait for the screens to dry, we can actually go ahead and get the openings where the Canon ports are. So we're going to need F9 and it looks like 07. 2 07s and 2 F9s. I can't find an F9, but I'm going to use this as one of the came off the parts tree. So what we got to do is we got to put the 07 onto the F9s, and then we're going to glue that into the back of the ship. So let me take one of the F9s. Let's flip it over. A little bit of glue. I think this is going to be for the bottom, or actually no, for the front. So we'll get the next piece out. So it's not on a parts tree. This is actually just a piece on its own. Okay. I think what I want to do now is we're going to go ahead and see if these are ready to put in. So we're going to take the one on top and we're going to put a bit of glue, because remember, we just need the only place we need to really cover is the window, the panes. So we're going to take the upstairs one. All right, let's do the downstairs one now. Ooh. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to do is drop it. Look at that. Okay, let's do the windows on the sides now. And let's do the last one now. So now, when we look in, see the windows? Let me light it up for you guys. Hopefully you see it a little bit better. See the screen? So that looks pretty cool. All right. So for now, I think we're all done with this part. So let's put this aside and we're gonna let that dry. And what we got to do now is we have to glue those other pieces onto the ship itself. So let's put all this stuff to the side. So checking my notes now, because we had bled in a little bit into section O. So what we did was we cut the screens, we painted the screens black, we put the finishing windows in, we glued the screen to it, we dry brushed the captain's quarters. So going into a little bit more now in detail of section O of the instructions, I just cut out the pieces for the bow, where the rudder is going to go, and on the bottom where the keel is. And we did these sections where these are going to go into the openings over there, and we cut out this piece. So we're going to go ahead now, and we need to glue these parts onto the ship. So again, let's put that awesome looking piece aside. Okay, so I got to think how we're going to get those pieces. Oh, this shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of glue around the edge. Yeah, that not the easiest place to get into by far. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. All right, again, not the easiest things to do, but those are in. Okay, so that's all set. What do we got to do next? It looks like we're going to be doing the bow section. Yep, so it's going to go just like that. So let me put some glue on this side. And it looks like we're going to put 06 or 60. So this is in the center, and I just had 60. All right, so how's that going to go? Looks like it's going to go like this. All right, so we got this section on. So now, let me see, this section, is that going to go all the way? Yeah, this is going to go all the way to the back. So I put a bead all the way down, and we're going to go right up against this section. So I also want to clamp this section as well. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, so it looks like parts 20 are going to go in like that from either side. So it was totally necessary that we take it out. And I wonder if they're going to meet up together in the center. So I'm going to put a little wee drop of glue. And we'll put it in the end, inside. And we're going to put a little bit on the wall, on the inner wall. So let's put it in like this. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here. And maybe a tiny bit, because I think they meet up in the middle. All right, that looks good. So now, now we've got 19 and 18, 17, 16. So let's put in. I'm going to put in some glue all the way down. So next one is 19. So it's going to go like that. And what this is going to do is this is going to go on the bow, and we're going to be able to build off the bow section from this. Again, I want to make sure it's lined up. Yeah. All right, that looks good. Let me see. Is that everything? All right, now I think we can put that section onto the stern where the rudder is going to go. So let's take care of that. So I want to put this to the side where nothing will happen to it. All right, so hopefully you guys can see that. And when it comes to the bottom over here, you're going to angle it like it looks in that. So let me just clamp it, keep it smooth. Okay, so we got the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see the keel going up to the bow. And incidentally, let me show you guys what's going to go here. That's where this is going to go. It's starting to look pretty cool right now, huh? So eventually this is going to go there. But in the meantime, we did the keel all the way from the forecastle down through the bottom, up and around, and all the way to where the rudder is going to go. And let me put her back on the towel, and let me find the cover. And in addition to the stuff we did on the ship, so I'm going to put her aside now. So in addition to what we did to the ship, we actually did this as well. And I'm pretty pleased how this came out. I was worried how it was going to look, but I think this looks really cool. So my friends, that was actually section O of the instruction sheet. So in the next video, we're actually going to move on. We're going to go on to section P. And it looks like we're going to be putting some more. Oh man, that looks like it's going to be fun. But that was section O of the instruction sheet. So my friends, I thank you so much for watching. I thank you for all the kind words. And until my next video, I'll talk to you guys soon.